welcome to the Economic and Development Planning Committee. First thing on the agenda, discussion. Does anyone have anything to discuss pertaining to this committee? Hearing none, we'll move on to the one and only resolution. It's a resolution scheduling a 30-day public review period, Montgomery County Agricultural District Number 2. I need a sponsor. Maria, second. Legislator Wilson, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that on to the full board, and does anyone have anything under other? All right, we'll adjourn the meeting at 6:01. Motion? Okay. Captain Kowalczyk.
I'd like to call the Physical Services Committee to order. Floor is open to discussion. We don't have any resolutions tonight.
Dan, hold on. Would you like to speak during this committee for?
Sure. So, as you know, I met with several of the legislators and took a tour of the DPW building, office space, and this is in reference to the Public Defender's Office relocation. And it was my instruction to move forward with finding out what's going on with that. We did hire an engineer, CT Mail, and they're developing plans for that. They're preparing bid specs for it, and this has to happen really quickly for us to meet the deadline. So coming next month, it might even be as late as an add-on to get it on your agenda. But they're going to send out everything to try to get bids before that time and award a bid for doing that. There was $1.3 million for the project. And so, I mean, the idea was to first stabilize the building and then, so roof, windows, paint, then do improvements on the inside at a limited scope, not a total renovation, but using the existing space that's there. So that's the progress of that.
Any other discussion? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Chad, that was Chad and Mike Peck.
That's me next. All right. I'd like to call the Public Safety Committee to order at 6:03 p.m. Any discussion? No? Okay, moving right along. Resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement with New York State AG and markets for weights and measures.
I'll come out, Spencer.
Sponsored by Legislator Pep and Kowalczyk. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Resolution accepting a Division of Criminal Justice Services grant for the full year 2024-2025 Law Enforcement Technology Program and amending the 2024 operating budget by the sheriff. Sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Wilson, Legislator Pep. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Resolution authorizing Montgomery County and Montgomery County Sheriff's Office to enter into a public safety mutual aid agreement with Fulton County and the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Sponsored by Legislator Pep, Legislator Kowalczyk. All those in favor?
Aye. Discussion.
Discussion?
Sheriff, I just want to ask you, you know, the financial impact statement, none unless used. What do you envision the financial relationship to be under this mutual aid agreement? How would it be structured? And, you know, how much money would change hands back and forth? Or just describe it to us.
Yeah, there would be no money exchanged back and forth, but if we were requested to assist them, it does cost gas for our boats, overtime for deputies, things that would be handled within my current budget.
Okay. So
But there would be, you know, county money spent if they requested us to
Sure.
assist.
I just want, I thought maybe the agreement itself, called for some type of,
No, and it's
Money
reciprocal,
exchange.
so if we requested something from them, I gave the public safety chair an example earlier, like if a tractor trailer rolled over near the county line at 38 and we needed their help with traffic, they would assign a deputy to assist us, just like when they request our marine
Okay.
unit on the lake.
how did this come to fruition?
It's one of the accreditation standards, so we've had an agreement in the past that just expired. We're accredited and Fulton County just became accredited, so they have to get a new signed one to meet their standard.
And help us.
What's that?
And help us when we need help.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a mutual agreement.
They weren't doing it before?
No, we were, it's always been an unwritten thing, it
I
just
see.
solidifies the standard by having it.
Gotcha. All right, thank you, sir.
Any further discussion? Did we get sponsors already on this?
Yes.
Yes,
Me.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Resolution accepting a Division of Criminal Justice Services grant, New York State, full year 2019 Edward Bryan Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, and amending the 2024 operating budget by the sheriff. Any discussion? Go ahead.
No, I'll
Oh,
sponsor.
sponsor, legislator Pep. Second?
Wilson.
Oh, Wilson, legislator Wilson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Resolution amending the 2024 operating budget, carrying over 2022 statewide interoperable communications grant targeted program. Any discussion?
I'll sponsor.
Sponsor, sorry.
I'll second.
So, Legislator Wilson, legislator Kowalczyk, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. And last resolution is a resolution accepting a Division of Criminal Justice Services grant, New York State full year 2019 Edward Bryan. Did I just read this one? This is different. Edward Bryan Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, and amending the 2024 operating budget by the sheriff. Sponsored by legislator Pep
Yeah.
and seconded by legislator Kowalczyk. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Make a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
legislator Pep and legislator Wilson. 6:07.
I'd like to call to order the Health and Human Services Committee. It is 6:08 PM. First on the agenda is discussion. Anybody have anything? Okay, hearing none, we'll go into our only resolution, which is a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget for mental health. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Wilson, Legislator Majewski. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will pass on to the full board. Next, is there anything under other? Hearing nothing, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Legislator Pep and Majewski. 6:08.
So we will call together the Personnel Committee at 6:09. First thing on the agenda is discussion. Does anyone have anything to discuss pertaining to this committee? Hearing none, we'll move right on to the resolutions. First resolution is a resolution adopting the revised Montgomery County Sexual Harassment Prevention Policy. Need a sponsor? Maria, second? Yep. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move right on to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution allowing the county executive to enter into agreement with Marist College. Need a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Legislator Wilson, legislator Kowalczyk. Easy for me to say. Discussion?
Yes. Nicole, I'm just curious, wonderful thing here. What was it born from? Marist College, Poughkeepsie? How did it get on your radar? Just a little backstory.
Sure, it went through my lister with other personnel officers in the state that have also partnered with Marist College. It's really born out of retention and recruitment opportunities
Mm-hmm.
I know that recruitment throughout colleges is down, I'm sure. So other counties have participated, and I saw this as an opportunity, that doesn't cost the county anything.
Sure.
To provide good benefits to our employees.
Are there any other colleges with which we have similar relationships? You know,
Not so much.
four-year schools?
We do have a partnership with FM, and
Mhm.
we do provide through, our union contracts, some tuition reimbursement up to a certain amount of credits per year.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move it to the full board. Next resolution, resolution adopting revised Montgomery County vehicle use and mileage reimbursement policy. Sponsor, need a second? Legislator Pep? Discussion?
Question.
Go ahead.
Nicole, can you just, what are we at now? The attachments didn't work at home, they're not working here. And what is it going to?
Sure, I mean, the IRS rate stays the same, and that is, set by law. The mileage policy is a policy that's long overdue. We've been, there's areas of the policy that weren't previously addressed, rules of operation.
Mhm.
It sets forth some clear procedures and expectations for drivers in the event of an accident. Also, if an employee is taking a vehicle home, all the way to standardizing the forms that we have for reimbursements and, inspection logs. I worked with, Ms. Beck, and the auditing, as well as Jill, for this policy.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the reimbursement side, what we were lacking is a date to set where an employee has to submit their mileage. So at this point, we could submit it all year long. And
Right.
there's no set
What is it?
process. Right now,
What is it changing to?
it's quarterly,
Quarterly, okay,
correct. It gives a little bit of leeway if the mileage occurs in the last week of that quarter.
sure.
Just to allow for that. But it really does set clear guidelines.
What's our rate at now?
Oh my goodness, I wanna say it's 67.
Don't look.
I'm not actually really.
Yeah, I was just curious what we're getting per mile. Okay, all right, thanks.
Something like that, yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution, resolution adopting revised discriminatory harassment prevention policy and complaint procedure. Need a sponsor? Legislator Majewski and Legislator Wilson. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution, resolution establishing the policy for the reimbursement of meals. Need a sponsor? Legislator Pep? Legislator Kowalczyk. Discussion.
Is there a reason why none of these attachments work?
They never do. And why, I don't know. Yeah, no, I've expressed to Dan before that,
I can start making copies of them so that you have them just in case if that's what.
yeah, I'm not quite sure why they never opened. It just says unauthorized access. So.
Fill you in on it if you'd like, in regards to the.
No, that's fine. I just wondered at some point, will the attachments work?
Similar housekeeping here, Nicole, like the other one?
It is, this was a request coming from the auditors, in that we don't have really any, outside of the bargaining agreements, we really don't have a set process
Mhm.
on how non-bargaining employees seek reimbursement for meals.
Mhm.
And then we don't have a standard rate, so in the bargaining policies, it's set in most of them, but where that's absent, we don't have that. So this standardizes it, and the most common way is through the GSA.
Gotcha.
So that just sets forth that policy, but the rest of it follows the regular audit guidelines that we have.
Okay, thanks.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we'll move that to the full board. Anything under other? Hearing none, motion to adjourn. Legislator Kowalczyk. 6:14.
All right. 6:14, I'd like to call to order the Education and Government Committee and remind it's a committee of the whole. Any items for discussion? Hearing none, on to resolution number 1. Resolution authorizing county executive to enter into a contract with Saul's Glass and Glazing. I'll sponsor it.
Second.
Legislator Kowalczyk on a second. Counselor, can you please recite how this is gonna change as we discussed here?
This is a contract that came through the executive's office, that needed legislative approval.
No, I mean the wording of it.
Oh, and, so on the third whereas, it says that total contract amount not to exceed $350K. If we could just move that down to the resolve clause, the very end of the resolve clause.
Gotcha. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that moves to next week's full board meeting. Our next resolution, amending the 2024 operating budget for the sponsor, for the county attorney here. Legislator Majewski, second. Legislator Wilson. Discussion. Counselor?
I was advised by a department that there may be a pending lawsuit. This is a department that has two department heads, which are split in a decision, I'm advised, and that each would need their own counsel at that juncture. So this is
Gotcha.
in anticipation of that, so we don't get a lawsuit and have no.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, goes to next week's meeting. Next resolution, authorizing county executive to execute an amended contract with CT Mail for FMCC paving Phase 1 engineering services. I'll sponsor it. Do I have a second? Legislator Wilson. Discussion. Greg, would you like to fill in any backstory here?
Sure, this is the first phase of the paving project, and so one of the next resolutions you have is for the actual contractor to do the paving, but in order to supervise this project, to do bid specs, to do the observation and the testing, we needed additional resources. Wasn't provided in the original contract from CT now, so this is amending that contract to provide those services.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, our next resolution, authorizing county executive to execute a contract with JMZ Architects and Planners for the FMCC Welcome Center Electrical Distribution Project. Do I have a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Kowalczyk, Legislator Majewski. Discussion. It's pretty self-explanatory. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that moves to next week. Our next resolution, authorizing county executive to execute a contract with Carver Construction Company for the FMCC paving project. I'll sponsor that.
I'll second it.
Legislator Wilson. Discussion. It's all part of our $250,000 allocation, so we're all set here. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that moves next week's meeting. Our next resolution, approving the 2025 capital projects for FMCC. I'll sponsor that. Do I have a second? Chairman Sweet. Discussion. This is just setting our bar for next year. Ken?
Yes.
I see it's at 236. We still doing 250 though, or?
We have it in there for 250, but obviously if you change based on.
Yeah, right, okay, okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And our next resolution, adopting the 2024-25 FMCC operating budget and rescinding Resolution 194 of 2024. I'll sponsor this. Do I have a second? Chairman Sweet, just as explanation, I'm sure you read, but Fulton County did not approve their the increase that we approved to the annual budget at their meeting. So we have to go into this on par with them, and consequently lowering it back to the original level without the increase. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And a motion to adjourn. Legislator Kowalczyk, Legislator Majewski, thank you. At 6:19.
Okay, we call the Budget and Finance Committee to order at 6:20. First thing on the agenda, discussion. Anyone have anything to discuss pertaining to this committee? Hearing none, we'll move on to the resolutions. First resolution is resolution approving abstract of audited claims. The sponsor, Legislator Waltrip, or Legislator Wilson. Discussion.
This attachment works.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Move that on to the full board. Next resolution, resolution correcting the 2024 town and county tax roll, town of St. Johnsville. Need a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Wilson, Legislator Pep. Would you like to explain?
I can try. So this is a property that the county sold to 12 Main Street Development, and apparently it was coming down, or it came down, it was cold storage, and they got their school bill, and it was still on the building. And they went to the assessor, and the assessor said she'd fix it, and didn't. So that school bill got re-levied onto the county bill. The county bill also had the building. They said they weren't gonna pay the school bill because they were waiting for it to be corrected, but nobody ever put in paperwork. Then the school got re-levied, the county bill became delinquent. Sean started, sending them the notice that they were delinquent, and they said, well, we're waiting for everything to be corrected, but with no paperwork ever being. So she called me in July, and I said, file the correction, which she did, and that's what this is.
Okay.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Move that to the full board. At this point, I'd like to enter into executive session to discuss possible property transfer.
Before we go into executive session, just, can I say something really quick for
Absolutely.
the committee? There is a potential add-on for next week. Ken, do you know if E29 is okay with the potential fireworks this year?
Yeah, I didn't contact them yet, but I'm sure that can be an issue.
Okay.
I'll reach out to them later afterwards.
Perfect. So there's the annual fireworks they like to do in Canajoharie at the BeachNet site. We just got the proposal for that, and they want to do it September 14th. So that would have to be a last minute add-on. We still have to run it through everybody, but wanted to give you the heads up that that might be coming.
Okay. All right, motion to go into executive session, second by That we come out of executive action, executive session where no action was taken. I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, anything else under other? Hearing none, I need a motion to adjourn. Kowalczyk, Olson. 6:38.
All right.